Okay, so for the intro, picture this, the little hook. Me recreating the JBL L100 ad, sunglasses, a giant fan, the tie, the whole deal.
Absolutely not.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Upscale Audio. I'm Jake.
And I'm Jordan.
Or Digital Tweak, as he's famously known by now.
Or Frick and Frack.
Yes, thank you for that comment. So today we're going to talk about our favorite audiophile vintage speakers at under 10,000.
That's right. Let's jump into it.
So up first, our reference system, we decided to go with the Prima Luna Evo 300 Hybrid. We thought that would give us enough solid state power for even the most power hungry speakers on this list, but still be a Prima Luna so dead quiet for even the most efficient speakers on this list. And we did pair that up with the new Lumen D3, which we totally need to do a video on, but there's so many things to listen to and so little time. Jordan, what was our reference track?
Sure thing. So we did listen to Friends That Break Your Heart by James Blake because, as everyone knows, he is your artist's favorite artist.
That's a good catchphrase. Yeah, so it's amazingly well produced. He's a producer and a musician, so it's all kinds of sounds and harmonies and vocals. It's an awesome way to demo your speakers. Let's dive in. Up first, we have the Klipsch Heresy IV, and this is an American icon. It is one of the oldest produced audiophile American speakers. So this first came out in 1957 by the legendary audio pioneer Paul Klipsch, and its name Heresy was because it was so different from anything else the company was doing. It wasn't a corner speaker. It was originally designed as a compact center channel for the giant Klipsch horns, which I wanted to include in this video, but Jordan didn't want to move them across the street, and frankly, neither did I.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ginormous speaker, 2 pieces. I like this.
Yes, so even though this is the 4th iteration, they have advanced it every single time. Jordan, talk to me about the tech of this awesome speaker.
Sure thing. So let's start off with the drivers themselves. So we have a 1-inch titanium tweeter, followed by an 1 3/4 polyamide driver for our mids. Now you will notice both of those are going to be in the horn-loaded style. If we jump down to our bass driver, we have a 12-inch fiber cone, which is speedy, lively, but we'll move over onto the rear of the unit where we'll see that this is going to be rear ported, which makes sense because this is a very sensitive speaker coming in at 99 decibels sensitive at 8 ohms. Now, besides the rear port on the back, you will see that this does have 2 sets of binding posts, which allows you to either bi-amp or bi-wire the speaker. And just in general, this guy sounds phenomenal. It's lively, it's punchy, but Jake, what did you think about it?
Yes, so if you've ever heard a Klipsch speaker, this is that awesome Klipsch signature sound, but in a way more affordable price range while still being American made and ultra high end. So it was lively and energetic. I will say that the 300 Hybrid might have been a step too far on the power side, but it was still such an awesome amplifier that, this was still great to listen to. There was this strong immediacy to it, and we heard finite detail as if James Blake was in the room smacking his lips at the end of his verses in the room with us. So this is for those of you that want to be at the concert, not so much in the recording studio. So this is that Klipsch signature sound in a compact size in a really affordable price range.
Yeah, that Prima Luna Evo 300 Hybrid for this was pretty powerful. We only had to put it to what, like 8 o'clock?
I don't know, I use a digital clock.
Okay, well, let's jump into our next iconic vintage speaker.
Next up, we have the JBL L100 Mark II, which does come in at $4,800. We knew this speaker had to be on this list. The only thing we fought about was what color grill. I wanted blue, he wanted orange. Jordan wins, like always. So this came out in the 1970s by JBL and quickly became their best-selling speaker of all time. You've seen it in that classic Blown Away ad, and it's just another American icon. Jordan, talk to me about what makes the Mark II different from the previous iterations.
Sure thing. So the Mark II had a handful of upgrades to it, some of them being that they did make some tweaks to the drivers in order to bring out additional performance. Besides that, they also redid the crossover network inside of the speakers to now allow for either bi-amping or bi-wiring, which I think that's pretty cool as I bi-amp my speakers at home. Now, jumping into the speakers themselves, we do have a 1-inch titanium dome tweeter, followed by a 5 1/4-inch polyamide coated, now this is going to be a polyamide coated fiber cone tweeter, and finally our 12-inch is going to be a paper pulp woofer, which fast, responsive. Moving on to the back of the unit, you will see that we do have the dual binding post, and on the very top, we are going to have a front port followed by an attenuator. Now, the attenuator is pretty cool because it does give you some adjustments of your high and mid frequencies. So if you need that a little additional sparkle to your audio, you can definitely add it with this guy here. Now, Jake, what did it sound like?
Show them the grill first. We had a whole fight about it. Oh my
goodness, I guess if we have to, of course I'm going to show the grill. This is going to be the classic orange set grill, which I demanded for this video because it's a vintage speaker. Now, I should state this grill is not going to work if you do have the original L100s. They are a different size dimension, so just please keep that in mind if you are checking them out on the website.
Demanded the orange one and didn't even show it. Okay, let's talk about the sound quality. The first thing that I noticed when we switched from the Heresies to this is it just had a such stronger foundation. The blacks were blacker. There was more bottom end. That bottom end that I was kind of missing on the Heresies was everything I wanted. And it was fun because we got to play around with that attenuator and add a little more sparkle. But with this, I feel like this is going to be your fun party speaker. If you have a bar or an arcade or a coffee shop and you just want people to just have a fun time while listening to it, but still get a great quality sound, this speaker is just fun. And it has the blacker blacks that you want, and it has a deeper foundation with great bottom end. I think it's an all-around awesome speaker. That was basically everything I would be looking for in a speaker designed for fun and to rock. But let's move on to the highest one on our list. Last and certainly not least, we have the Fyne Audio Vintage Classic 10. And yes, Jordan, that X means 10. I've had to explain it to him like 100 times. But this is from Fyne Audio, which were founded in 2017, which does make them the newest founded company on this list. But they are full of seasoned titans in the industry that have decades of experience and cutting edge ideas, and they just get to do whatever they want now, so it's awesome. This is part of the Vintage Classic line, which means it has some of the latest and greatest cutting edge acoustic technology out there in the world, but it has a retro vintage aesthetic design, kind of harkening back to the golden era of hi-fi. Jordan, let's talk about that tech. What makes the speaker so special?
Sure thing. So same like our other speakers, even though this is going to be in that vintage style, we are using newer technology inside of it. So starting off with our drivers, we do have a ISO flare point source driver built into this cabinet. Now, that means that our tweeter is going to sit within the throat of our main woofer. Now, that tweeter is going to be a titanium dome tweeter itself. Now, this guy sounds fantastic on its own, but we can make some adjustments with this unit, and that is going to be towards the very bottom. You'll see we have a high frequency energizer as well as a presence adjustment, and actually has two little graphs on there so you can see what frequencies you're actually making the adjustments to. Now, besides that, this is going to use Fyne's Cryo Light technology. Now, they do have cryo on some of their other speakers, but Cryo Light means that only select pieces within the cabinet have been cryo treated. Jumping on down to this very stylish little fabric on the bottom, that is going to be for their patented bass tracks technology. Now, what that means is we have a port on the bottom that is going to be diffused by what we like to say a Hershey's kiss at the very bottom to disperse the bass evenly across the room. Moving over to the back, we are going to have two sets of terminals. Now, this can be bi-amped or bi-wired as well. And the unique part about this is because it's from the UK, it has a grounding post on it, which I thought that was pretty cool. Now, Jake, take it away with how it sounds.
Jordan, it wasn't that cool. Okay, let's go into the sound quality. The first thing when we plugged this in was it just exploded the room in a three-dimensional sound stage. We heard every intricate detail as if James Blake was really in the room with us. His vocals had presence, but also emotional weight. The bass in these speakers is honestly pretty shocking, but it filled the room with the presence that you wanted it to have. This had intricate detail and crisp highs without ever being fatiguing. You feel like this could be your forever speaker that you could just listen to on and on and on. And it was one of those moments where I was like, wow, I really get paid to listen to awesome speakers like this. So that was a treat. Jordan, let's bring it home. And that's going to bring the video to a close. We want to thank you so much for watching and sticking it out to the end with us. We have a very exciting announcement. Jordan, tell them about high fives.
Yeah, so we have a brand new reward system here at Upscale Audio, which are called high fives, which are redeemed as a one-to-one, 1 point to $1 system. Now, we are offering $50 of high five points to one commenter down below, and you do have to enter in by saying what your favorite piece of vintage gear is.
Yes, and they told us, sadly, we're not allowed to win. So, you know what? I think that's kind of mean. But thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and smash that like button. Comment down below to enter to win. And maybe subscribe if you're not subscribed. You get to see more videos of us. And this is so fun to do. This is our job. It's incredible. But remember, at Upscale, we'll treat your system
like it's ours.